take control here pretty soon. I don't know, they may be able to hold. Doesn't look good though. Look at Turkestan, man. It's gonna be able to fight actually. I mean, it's gonna lose the Russians in the end, but they're still gonna be able to do some damage and hold out for the National French. The anarchists, man, they're making a breakthrough. They're actually like exploiting it, but now Zagoria. I don't know. Anarchists are pushing closer into other territories. So the Spanish Civil War is interesting. The American Civil War. What happened is there's still a continued push, and they retook Toledo and Lexington and Louisville, and Memphis has fallen, but they did a drive down to try to take New Orleans, and that failed and was cut off, and there's still a pocket around basically Colorado and Wyoming and some of South Dakota where they're holding out. I expect that pocket to close pretty soon though. Actually, they may be able to locomotive industry upgraded. I don't know what's going on here. It's a bloody battle, definitely. Actually, they're near Atlanta. They've just taken Knoxville. New steel mill. So we'll actually be getting. We have 15 I see at this point. Oh, and my timer's going off. Just as my timer went off, we had an anti-Brahmin riot. Just because my timer went off. Huh. Interesting. Oh my god, it's interesting. What do you mean? What's going on here? Is MacArthur made a breakthrough? Meaning he was able to retake DC, and he's holding up out here, and slowly the pocket up here is being closed. Denver fell. South, yeah. Now it's just a small area of Wyoming they're actually holding up here. So they're going to be fighting the mountains. I, so the communists have taken a lot of land here, and they're actually. There's a counterattack going on, but they're not going to reach that pocket in time. I can see that's what they're trying to do. They can retake Denver somehow. They can actually withdraw those troops and get them down to the south and try to pause the advance on Atlanta. No, they've actually been able to counterattack successfully against Turkestan. But now Persia's fallen entirely, so there's obviously new troops on the way back. And they're actually pushing into Turkestanian territory. Oh, they did have them cut off for a minute, but now it's not looking good. Commune of France at the war with Germany. Russia annexed Siberia. Oh, so we have the war starting up. World War II started effectively, and the Ukrainians are fighting. There's the Italians obviously can actually help this time and do something. Flanders Livonia has fallen. Canada declared war on the Union of Britain. Eventually, we're going to have to take a side here. The Cheni Republic. Now it's going to be trench warfare along this small line. This basically the line around those provinces. I can't talk today. I'm tired, and I'm like, well, I should be around now. I should actually be like beginning to sleep, but no, I'm gonna be playing this instead for a little bit at least. Formosa army reform. Well, the syndicalists appear to actually we stacked up pretty well against Germany. but there's night and day bombing just going on here. And the real story is the Ukrainians over here fighting against the Russians. Like, they're actually making dents into Russian territory. I expected the Ukrainians to get smashed and then just Russian troops come pouring in and destroy the French. The results are in and we're behind. Focusing on only one aspect of the state tax was a bad idea. Investment was far too grand as well, and the resulting budget deficit has, as finances over the past 3 years have revealed, accumulated a deep debt within the Deutsche Bank. This is very, very bad. Luckily, Germany is tied up with the Communist France in another damned Wolf Krieg. Hopefully, Berlin won't come for their money anytime soon. We're losing more money now. Major worker strike. That may be a problem. And authoritarian democratic Brazil. Brazil will seem to go through some turmoil too. Violent reprisal. This isn't good. We have more dissent. And oh am I actually seeing this? The U.S. actually maybe counterattacking. This like pocket now is fallen back. Anti-Brahmin riot. I don't know. The CSA appears to still have the advantage for the most part in the way of territory, but and I see. They can just close these pockets of AUS troops. They can actually come pouring down. Oh, am I really seeing this? Ukrainian troops outside pretty close to being outside Moscow. Or actually, they may be. They may be. Oh no, their push to Moscow kind of got destroyed horribly. Defensive line along here can hold for feasible amount of time. Do the White Ruthenians leave the alliance? No. I don't know why Ruthenia doesn't do anything. The Polish are a puppet of Austria. Dixie, best from 1939, probably. I don't know, the U.S. Civil War, the Federalists are actually making a pretty decisive comeback. I mean, they're actually counterattacking, and they're at the doorstep of Chicago. Oh, and more. But pretty much the AUS pockets are closed. In fact, New Orleans is in CSA hands. And Atlanta probably will be soon also. And once one of these states are taken out, pretty much the United States of America is done for. Oh, the Russians are pushing on. Oh my god. Yeah, they're just outside Moscow, Ukrainian troops. They might actually encircle Moscow. This is an interesting war. What's going on? The Mongolians. The Mongolians are attacking Russia too, and the Japanese are. And oh my God, the Quinn, the Japanese, the Japanese rendered it. Money laundering scandal. Oh god, the Japanese are like trying to defend Korea against the Chinese, man. The Chinese are almost all unified. In fact, they're gonna probably be taking Mongolia soon enough here. And meanwhile, India is actually peaceful. Well, except for the huge amount of political discontent in my country. Oh my I don't know what's going to be happening here. The American Civil War has not come to a close. It's been raging for several years now. The Federalists are actually making a counterattack, but it's the syndicalists who can still support their military, and the AUS too, probably. Or they're just outside Atlanta if they can just take the city. No, they're trying to assassinate each other. Well, that's interesting. You're sending assassins after each other. Well, I'm gonna end it here.